Hey, you folks are the best looking people I've ever given a talk to. I tell you, this is just delightful. And it's also great that you're opera lovers. Sometimes I get into a crowd, you know, and I'm going to talk about opera. Some people say, well, what is it? What's opera? And, you know, there are people like that. So anyway, this is going to be a lot of fun, mainly because on this particular lecture, we're going to be talking about the great music that was composed by the Russians. And these great composers we're going to talk about were illiterate. They didn't know how, they all knew how to play the piano. They all took piano lessons when they were little, but they had no idea of orchestration. They didn't know instrumentation. Counterpoint, harmony, they weren't aware of. But the only thing they knew was modulations in music, and that was about it. And so anyway, we're going to get into that particular five as we go on with this particular talk. This is a musical lecture, and I have a little CD here. We're going to play little selections, and the selections are short. We're going to turn it on, it's going to get exciting, and it's going to be cut off. And some are only 30 seconds long, maybe go for a minute on some. And Letty, my wife here, is my maestro today. We have never rehearsed this music together. We always had somebody else. So I'm going to give her a cue. I'm going to say, music, maestro, and she'll push the button and all the music becomes blaring out. Then all of a sudden it's going to be cut off. And, so anyway, that's the way it's going to go. Yes, I did premiere this lecture in St. Petersburg. I did it one time, and in the morning they asked me to come back in the afternoon and do another talk for a different audience that came in, and so I thought it was pretty neat. And one thing I like about Russia is that they speak English, they understand English, except the taxi drivers. You go there, you say, well, I want to go to the Morisky. Well, they know the name Morisky, but they're not too sure if that's where they want to take me. So I get a map, I'll say, I want to go, I'm here, let's go there. And you give them the money, they take you right there, they speed through the traffic. It is, Petersburg is a huge traffic jam. It is, everyone in the country lives there, I think, and it's a madhouse. It's beautiful though, it's a beautiful place. Anyway, so they would take us there where I was going, and they would wait for us and bring us back. They don't do that here. You know, I thought that was pretty good. So it was kind of, that's what Russia knew was the Italian opera. And there were some Russian composers there at the time, but they were composing music based on the Italian tradition, because Russia didn't have a tradition in opera composition. And when they did have it, they were the last country in that particular continent to get into the field of grand opera. Well, anyway, it started with Catherine the Great. First of all, she founded the Kirov Ballet School in 1769. The Kirov Ballet was always been rated as #1, and it's still in operation. From that time on, it's still in operation. I was there. I went to their school and saw it, and they're there. And so they're considered #1. The Bolshoi is considered #2 of the world greatest ballet companies. Now that's interesting because every major city in the world has a ballet company, and a lot of them are really good. The Chinese National Ballet is one fantastic ballet troupe. And if you ever have a chance to see them, you got to see them. They are really good. So, and there's about 5 or 6 other ballet schools in St. Petersburg besides the Kirov. They had stones there yet. Everything was wood. All the houses were wood, and they had fires all the time. And eventually, the theater burned down, and they built another one out of wood, and it was called the Bolshoi. And across the street, she built a circus theater with 1 ring. And so when we say a 3-ring circus, hers was the 1 ring. She started the 1 ring, and Barnum and Bailey started the 3-ring circus. Okay, now we're going to get into the finale of this particular opera, and I want you to hear the bells and the chorus. This is celebrating the hero for Ivan and the saving of the Tsar.